workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people
here.
here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents.
Republicans, I mean, their entire mantra, Donald Trump's campaign slogan was "Make America Great Again." Republicans often talk about the United States being the greatest country the world has ever known. Historic greatness from America. But you can't have a great country if you don't have great people. You can't have a talented country without talented people. The people make the country what it is. And Republicans, they want to act like they love the troops while betraying the troops. They want to act like they support the farmers while betraying the farmers. They want to act like they support manufacturing while betraying manufacturing, the entire industry. And they want to act like they want all of the foreigners out, that immigration is evil, it's bad, except for the ones they want, except for the talent that they want to bring in. And when pressed on it in an interview with Laura Ingraham, about this very issue, the H-1B visa, Donald Trump, with his mouth, the Make America Great Again president, the Republican who believes America's the greatest country on the world, on the globe, this is it. That guy said that, no, we don't have talented people. We don't have what it takes to do certain jobs. Americans can't do certain jobs. They're not talented enough. And he even gets pushed back on by Laura Ingraham. This is a remarkable clip, and hopefully Republicans are starting to wake up. I know that most of them aren't. Absolutely, MAGA is a cult, but there is absolutely 3, 5, 7% of the Republican population that will wake up when they hear things like this, hear Donald Trump speak so disrespectfully about the American populace. Watch this from Laura Ingraham, and credit to Laura Ingraham. Even she is pushing back on this nonsense.
There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean,
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
We have plenty of talent, she says. No, you don't. No, you don't. He says it with disgust, with contempt for her opinion. No, you don't. No, we don't. We don't have talent. Yeah. Tom Nichols, he tweeted this. I believe Tom Nichols wrote The Death of Expertise, a book. He had something, the dog in this fight. He understands the lay of the land here. And this is what he tweeted. The most anti-immigrant president in recent history now says that Americans are just too stupid and untalented to do most of the jobs that we're going to need to bring in foreigners to do. It's interesting that in this same video, this same interview on Fox News with this same interviewer, Laura Ingraham, afterward they took a little stroll through the White House, and Donald Trump took her to his presidential walk of fame. Just everything about this guy is just jackassery 101. And he starts talking about the talented artisan. Apparently we do have talent in the country, unless an immigrant carved the presidential walk of fame bronze nonsense. Watch him being just beside himself with pride that he has just besmirched the exterior of the White House with his gaudy gold rich guy nonsense. nonsense.
A lot of people are wondering which child would be the best.
In a certain way, they all could. Take a look at this, fellas. You want to see detail. So, like this sign. Most people would just do a sign, they paint it on the wall. So that's half-inch thick bronze, carved by a very talented person. And it's brass, it's pure brass. It's half-inch thick brass. And you can't just do that. That's, you look at that, that's quality, right? And then we start with George Washington and we go down to Trump. Pretty cool, right?
No, it most certainly is not cool, Donald Trump. There's nothing cool about that. That is stupid and gaudy and ostentatious and tacky and stupid. Did I say stupid? Because it's stupid. It looks stupid and it represents a stupid, stupid man. And it wasn't that. That's not even the worst of it. He takes her around the corner talking about the ballroom construction, and he says something very, very telling about what he's attempting to do to the White House and about what he sees his role as. He was elected to be president of the United States of America, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of these United States, a man who has constitutional obligations to do certain things as president, accepting the job, running for office, winning the election. And he says that his greatest talent is building ballrooms. That's what you want in a president. And then he says, I might as well do this. It's my greatest talent. I might as well do this. Who cares about being president? Who cares about solving food insecurity for millions of people? Who cares about ensuring that Americans have cheap access to health care, to save their lives, for them to be able to preserve their life in liberty and pursuit of happiness? Nah. Ballrooms, that's what he's interested in. Watch this.
But I'll show you something. This is the equivalent of what I do with the ballroom. I built many ballrooms and many buildings, and that's my greatest strength, actually. I might as well do this. So this room was in terrible shape. This was done by Jackie Kennedy. Jackie Kennedy Onassis, then Jackie Kennedy, I hope. And she took this area, it's called the Palm Court, and here we had one by one little tiles that were all broken, cheap, out of a box. The walls weren't good. We took it, I restored it. I put in new chandeliers. They had lanterns that were terrible.
I remember this room.
Yeah, it was a nothing room. Yeah. It was an embarrassment.
There was a seat, a bench right underneath there. Yeah.
To come to the Oval Office, you had to go through this room. It was an embarrassment, okay? And I took it down and rebuilt it. Same as she had it, but at a much higher level. And take a look at the floor. Take a look at the marble. So this is called...
It is really pretty.
Statuary marble. But look at the book ending. Look at the book match. Look how it matches.
That's tough to do.
No, it's very tough. You don't get it. If it's an eighth of an inch off, it's no good.
Is that brass? The brass?
That's two brass strips. But even if you look at the air conditioner vent, it's book matched.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Who can do that? I can do that because I know that, it's even available that you could do that. Very few people can do it. So you take a vent that's supposed to be a piece of aluminum or steel. And the marble man said, I said, do you think you could book match a vent? He said, yeah, look at the other one over there. Book matched. But look at the quality of that job.
Where do you think you developed?
Weird and gross. And here's what happens when you have a fascist, an authoritarian, a weak but attempting to be strong man in the Oval Office, is he surrounded himself with a bunch of sycophants, a bunch of ass licks, just brown nosers extraordinaire, just the worst of the worst, who are afraid to tell Donald Trump, hey, look, brother, Mr. President, sir, the optics of this are all bad. People are hungry. People are not getting paid who work for the federal government. The people are worried about the planes falling out of the sky because of air traffic control. You're cutting SNAP benefits. You're cutting Social Security and Medicaid, and you're trying to gut the ACA. This all looks terrible that you're adorning the White House in gold and bronze and marble. It's just, bleh, it's pukey. It's gross. Nobody will say that to him, though. And here's what the result of that is. Here's Harry Enten on CNN just most recently talking about exactly what the opinion. He took the pulse of the American people, and they're not happy. They're pinning, as they well should, justifiably, all of the damage, all of the shitty economy, all of the high prices. They're putting it on Donald Trump.
Donald Trump might be trying to downplay voters' concerns about affordability, but I'm here to tell you that is a ginormous error. It may be an error that goes down in political infamy. Why do I say that? Well, the reason Donald Trump was elected was to fix the problem of inflation. Right back in October of 2024, who was more trusting inflation? It was Donald Trump by 9 points over Kamala Harris. But look at where we are today. Donald Trump is underwater with the Titanic when it comes to inflation. His net approval rating is 26 points underwater. My goodness gracious. Now I know Donald Trump, when things aren't going his way, wants to pass the political buck. He might try and throw it back at Joe Biden's face, the former president. That, simply put, will not work. The American people don't buy it because, get this, more responsible for the current economy, Trump or Biden? We're talking 54%. The clear majority of voters say Donald Trump's more responsible for the current economy than just 21% who say Joe Biden. I will note I've seen this in poll after poll after poll. More folks saying Trump is responsible than Biden. Now, of course, it's one thing if voters don't like the state of the economy, but it's another thing when they don't think that Donald Trump actually gives a hoot. And we see that in the polling because take a look here. Trump attention to lowering costs, not enough. We're talking about 3 in 4 Americans, 75% overall, who say Trump's not paying enough attention to lowering costs. And even among Republicans, that solid Republican base who oftentimes approves of Trump's job by 85, 90%, 57% of them say that Trump's not paying enough attention to lowering costs. Now, we're talking about Trump. He, of course, at least constitutionally, can't run for another term, but his Republican Party is up in the midterm elections. They should be scared, SH blank, blank, blankless. Why do I say that? Because we just had a test of this. We just had to test the economy in the off-year elections in New Jersey, in Virginia. And get this, how Economy First voters went in 2025. Mikey Sherrill, the Democrat in New Jersey. Get this, she won him by 33 points. How about in Virginia? Abigail Spanberger, the Democrat. She won Economy First voters by 27 points. If these numbers hold and Donald Trump continues to try ignore a problem that Americans very much think we have in terms of cost of living affordability, well, it might be adios amigos, goodbye for that House Republican majority, and I dare say the Republican Senate majority as well.
54% say Trump is more responsible for the economy. 57% of Republicans said, hey, he needs to be paying attention to his job, setting his mind to the thing he was elected to do, not the fucking ballroom. And I agree with Harry Enten. Republicans should be scared shitless. The problem is they are in a cult and they don't view reality through the lens of reality. They think everything's A-okay. They've gotten so used, so accustomed to just repeating a lie a million times and then all Republicans start to believe it. You can't do that when people are paying more for groceries. They're paying more for gas. They're paying more for energy. It doesn't work that way. They're not going to, they'll deny what they see with their eyes, but they're not going to deny what they feel with their checkbook when they look in their bank account and there's not enough money to pay their bills. There's not enough money to feed their kids. They won't be able to deny that. You can't deny the sound of a growling stomach. We will see, though. We will see. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. Please subscribe to this channel on YouTube and go like and follow the Facebook page, Dollemore Daily. I would appreciate it very much. That is free to do, and it very much helps out this effort that we're making to save the country and democracy here on this channel and others in this space. Support independent media in that way. You can also comment below this video to have a conversation. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.